Hey Logan, here's a couple of things that you can practice on your minuet, the Baccarani. First of all, remember we were talking about that trill in measure 7. You have to start from the higher note, so it's going to be a 2 first. So you always play a grace note, the note above the note written, and then you trill to the higher note also. So, let's just practice just the trill. So it's 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. It's going to be on an up bow, starting on a 2. Okay, so nice and slow. Do it again. Ready? Here we go. All right, cool. And then once you get that a little bit faster, you can take it from the pickup to measure 7. Let's do that one more time. And here we go. Okay. The other thing I really want you to work on in the first section is the dynamics. So mezzo piano, but with some accents in the first full measure. Mezzoforte, low 4, soft, mezzoforte. So repeat with all that in the low 4 in measure 5 and measure 6. Make sure you mark that with your pencil. So mezzo piano first. Mezzoforte, low 4, piano. Okay, so there's a lot going on in there. All right, let's go on to the next section. Pick up. Ready? Here we go. Low 4. Here also low 4. Accent, 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 accent. Low 4. Trill's going to feel the same there as it did at the beginning, but it's just obviously on the next string down. All right, cool. So let's talk about the trio. Really watch for the timing in measure 27. You have 1 and 2 and 3 and. So make sure quarter notes are long enough. So from the trio, starting soft with a crescendo. Now, one thing I want to talk about in that beginning section of the trio is to be a little bit in the lower half, so lower than the middle, and that will help you with those staccatos and control those staccatos. So again, you're starting soft, you have a crescendo to mezzo forte. That's a pretty big crescendo in just one measure time. Let's try it again at the trio. We're going to keep going this time. Forte with a diminuendo 1 and 2 and 3 and. Repeat. So that rhythm at measure 27 you have 1 and 2 and 3 and. So make sure those quarter notes are twice as long as you think. They're 2 8-note counts. So 1 and 2 and 3 and. The reason why it's tricky is because it's syncopated. You're moving on the offbeat or on the and of the beat, in between where the beats are. 1 and 2 and 3 and. So make sure you feel that. Here's measure 26 again. Measure 26. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 1 and a 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. So, in the second part of the trio, measure 29, make sure you're really counting all the way through there. You have a nice pianissimo, measure 33, so keep that nice and soft. Again, you have the same rhythm at measure 42 that you did back at measure 27. So it's syncopated, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Okay, so make sure you study that. All the dynamics and the accents and the crescendos, diminuendos, that's what's really going to make this piece exciting. So make sure you're focused on that this week. Also those trills, the low fours. Remember, a low 4 is the same thing as a high 3, but the reason why you're doing a low 4 is so you don't have to go from a high 3 to a low 3 at the very next note. So that's why we're doing a low 4. It keeps your 3 in the normal position, and then you can use your 4 as a low 4 for the sharps, okay? Hey, this is sounding fantastic though. I was very impressed. I do still want to hear the Beethoven next week. I'm sorry we didn't get to it this week, and I'm so sorry we had a bad connection. Hopefully something will open up in my schedule, or we'll pick it back up next week. Have a good week, Logan.